Hello, welcome pen friends. It's kind of an exciting day here because it's a new pen day. I got an Opus 88 demonstrator, the Coloro demonstrator that is, and it's a special edition from Stilo and Stile. So I wanted to share it with you. I got to work tomorrow, so I was like getting antsy. And but the main thing, once we look at the pen, I'm trying to narrow down inks, and it's not easy because it's green and it's really pretty, and I'll show you in a minute. But let's look at the pen. It's a limited edition. I have a clear one, which I will compare with it, and I got number 232 out of, I think it's 350 of this run anyway. Here's the pen. I've showed you these boxes before. They come with the eyedropper and the little paper, and it's a nice little box. You could use it as like a stationary box or something. But here it is. The thing about this is that it's been in progress for a while. They had to send another pen because the first one got lost somewhere along the way. So I never received it. Whoops, there's the number. 232 out of 350. But I fell in love with this immediately when I saw it on Aziza's channel. And I was already at the time writing with my clear one. And what I really wanted to do, I was already thinking about it when this one came along. I wanted to make this one dedicated for a parallel nib. Right now I think I've got a broad nib in here now. Yeah, I've got a broad nib. And that's what I ordered for this one too, for the green one. But I just was really taken with the colors and the way it had that trim black, and I love it. I just love it. So before it got here, I kept kind of peeking in on her video, and of course it only took a couple of days because when they resent the pen, which we'll look out for the other one. If it shows up, I'll be sending it back. But it hasn't shown up, and there's no movement on the tracking for like weeks. So anyway, it only took like 2 or 3 days, like to get this one, because they sent it expedited, I guess. But it's got a broad nib, and I particularly love how you can just screw these nib units in and out. And I will rewatch the video before I deal with the other one to put the parallel nib unit in, but I think that's going to be wonderful, because as I practice with my parallel, the only thing I don't like about it is the body that it came in. So now I'll have that body for those nibs, and this one for my green. But I've been going through all my inks, so let's see. This is the little pen holder for my pen friend Sharon gave me. We'll put the pen there carefully, and then I wanted to get out all my toys, because I actually narrowed this down to 4 inks. And it's funny why I'm looking at these 4, but because as I look at the pen, I'm not too sure. But this one really appeals to me, Scribo, Verde, Bosco. It's just a really pretty saturated green. I only have what's left of the sample, which is just about 3 mil. Maybe it's more like 3.5. So it'll be a good fill for the pen if I choose this one. Okay, so there's that one. And then this, I'm super tempted to put the Tranquility in, even though it's not matchy-matchy, but I just love this ink. And I have a bottle of that. Well, a half a bottle, whatever's left. I've had this, it's been a while since I put it in my little Moon Man eyedropper. I know that I can love it for like 3 months in a row, so, or for a long time. So, okay, so there's that. Trying to keep these organized. And then Monteverde, California Teal. Now that has a very nice kind of, I don't know, it's sort of on the surface matches a pen. And I love it. I love this one. But there's something about, now of course that one looks a little bluer, but I know how it looks in a nib, and I just love Tranquility. But this is not a problem. It's just Friday, and we've dealt with plumbing half the day, and I'm fried. If I don't do something with ink, I may explode. And then this one. This one's a little dark for me generally, but I like it, and I like that partial, you know, the water resistance in Colorverse Laurel. And I don't have a big bottle, but I have a little 15 mil, what's left of a 15 mil. I definitely have enough to fill the pen, but I thought what I'd do is just get my notebook out and use this glass pen, and we'll see what we can come up with here. We're just gonna, let's start with the two I think I really want to use for it. It's definitely, there's no hurry. I may not ink it today because I definitely want to make a good choice since it'll last a while. I'll be writing with it for a while, so in that same fill, I'm sure. Okay, and I kind of had two things going. I've got my currently inked. I've gone ahead and dedicated a page here. But I wanted to start out, oddly enough, on Clairefontaine, which is not what I use, but it gives me a really good view of the ink. So that's, I don't want that pen to go very far. I want to look at it. I'm still really enjoying looking at it. They're eyedropper pens, and they have a huge capacity. It's at least 3 mil. And I measured once, and I got a lot more than that in there, so. But this has been the year of the Opus 88 for me, so. Okay, let's see. Let's try this one first. I'm making sure I have everything. I debated about doing this video because I am not all there. We got it finished in the bathroom for today. But if anybody owns an old house, you would know the frustrations that happen. And this is you know, nothing that's going to stop us from showering and brushing our teeth, but we really had a round of it today. This is the Scribo Verde Bosco. Let me get a chance. This one lays down the ink pretty good, this glass nib pen, so it's going to help because these broad nibs on the Opus 88s are quite, I was going to say talkative. It's me that's talkative. They're quite flowy too, so. Okay, so let's start with this one. See, that's nice and dark, and that almost makes me, that definitely, oh my God. The only thing that scares me about this is if I use this, I'm going to want to go order a whole bottle. And that's crazy. Not really, not crazy, but you'd think I could use up some of these others that I have. And this wasn't even my doing. This was where Vanessa sent me some samples a time ago. Verde, Bosco. Okay, this is truly nice and dark and saturated, and it really evokes this pen. I mean, it does. Huh. Nice. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. I would say that's simulating a broad nib pretty well. You know, it laid down the ink nice, and let's see what else we can get out of it. Oh yeah, my writing is not great either. I've already written 2 pen pal letters today because it's nighttime now, but earlier, you know, early in the day while my brain still has some cells left in it, I wrote my letters. I do like this notebook for this kind of thing because it gives me the pure look of the ink being on such white paper. And this paper is perfectly okay with... Okay, we're not going to tell whether it went through anyway because I've been using the back as a blotter page to write pen pal letters. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's actually prettier than I even remembered. Oh my gosh. I just feel like, yeah, broad nib. Okay, we're starting to lose our... Well, that may be why, because that sort of hints at teal, even though on the surface I don't see that. I see that only in the chromatography, really. Huh, very interesting. Oh, this is going to be a tough contest. Maybe the way to go would be to use that one because that would be absolutely it. I can plop the nib in there and then fill the barrel with the pen, and then I can wash out an ink sample, you know. Okay, but let's go ahead and try number 2 here, Tranquility. This was what I was really looking forward to tonight, was just playing with some ink, I guess. And I thought I'd tape it, and then if it's hideous, I just won't upload it, but I'm enjoying reading books, but I'm feeling yucky because I hate heat. I don't like hot weather at all, and I'm just grumbly. You could tell my back is better, because for me to even complain about weather or anything like that is just ridiculous now that I'm feeling a little better. A lot better, actually. Okay, we're going to have to write with that for a little bit to get it down to where it goes, to where it looks like itself, because that's pretty dark for Tranquility. Tranquility. At least I didn't have to take Tylenol. Manuel had to take Tylenol, so again. And then we have the Sahara dust, we have the heat, we have plumbing, we have different competing things we're trying to get done and stuff, and it's just, you know, retired life, that's all. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's going down nice and wet too. I really like this ink. I haven't never felt like it was dry, and I liked it in the fine Moon Man nib, and I liked it in the broad Goulet number 5 nib just as well. So that's going to be hard to decide. I may have to have you guys decide or something. Okay, let's do that thing over here too, and then just see what it. Yeah, it draws up more, you know, tealish, but you know, it gets away. This is more green. And it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to just make an absolute match. Right now, I'm just trying to improve my mood. Oh my gosh. I was just getting terrible. And then it's like I watched a little bit of news and no more news. I can't handle it. Okay, here's Monteverde, California Teal. Just for the heck of it, we'll see how it looks compared to these others. We might as well follow through with it. Whoops. Oh. Wow, I guess I haven't had that sample vial open in a while. Mercy. Smells okay. That's good. Monteverde ink. I haven't checked to see how much I have, but there's some of a bottle left. It is a very popular choice for me. I've used a lot of it. You know, when I started almost 5 years ago in this hobby, I didn't like green fountain pen ink. But you guys, my viewers, changed my mind. People, you know, told me which greens to try and explained all kinds of interesting things to me. And then I got into the different teal inks. So I have you guys to thank for that, because I would have just kind of dismissed green. And that's crazy. You know, I always knew I like a bright green, like a... let's see, I've got them all in front of me because I was going through just about everything. I've always liked a bright green that sort of reminds me of grass or Vermont in the summer. Like, I'm going to pull one out. Well, like this. You know, I knew that, but I didn't think I could find another green that I'd like. And I found several. Monteverde. California Teal. This is definitely, I mean, all 3 of these so far, I'm familiar with them. I know they flow really well. There's not going to be any trouble, I'm sure. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, we're still laying down the ink really heavy because I haven't yet got it off that glass nib enough. I'm not giving them each a fair shake, I guess. Fox. Oops, Uber. Oh yeah, just in case there wasn't enough to be grumpy about, but one of my favorite series, Manifest, there's 2 seasons on Netflix, and then the 3rd season is on Hulu, and that just is ridiculous. So I guess I just have to forget about it and wait until they finally put season 3 on Netflix. Again, I feel like a jerk for being worried about things that are not important at all, you know. But the last you know, before I read for an hour and go to bed, I watch an episode of something, and I am an episode today, I guess. I've been really grumpy. Okay. So that's beginning to look like itself. That's really pretty. It's good to know. See, there'd be no reason to have to get a bottle of this, because definitely I can finish Tranquility, and let's see how much are the Monteverde Teal. Oh, that is so saturated I can't tell. I think there's half a bottle left of that. I've had it a long time. Okay, so now we've got 3. And then we've got Colorverse Laurel we could try. But let's see if I can get another. Finish that out and find a finger to. Whoop! Oh, I didn't quite. Wow, I guess that Tranquility really is a. Oh, well, I didn't write it as dry, so. Yeah, that wasn't fair either. We want to be a little scientific. Not getting there. Okay, Colorverse Laurel. Here we go. There were plenty of others. In fact, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to go over some of the other contenders, because I've got samples, you know, coming out my ears. I don't have as many bottles. I have a little bottle of Twisby Emerald. Is it Emerald? Emerald Green. I thought about, but when I saw the way it looked, I wasn't sure it was really dark enough for me. So I kind of did a little elimination before I started the camera. I'm always surprised. I don't ever expect this Colorverse Laurel to be so dark, and I know what it is. I get mixed up between these two, Alpha Centauri and Laurel. There's a big difference. This is the card of Alpha Centauri, and that's beautiful. And I have a little part of a 15 mil of that one too, but that was veering off into a brighter green, and I really kind of wanted a darker green. I wanted to be intentional about that, I think. Ooh, I got a long way to go to get that to be its real color, I think. Laurel. This is really messy. But they're all very flowy. They all come right into my zone that I like, of inks that don't hesitate to come off the nib. Over the Lazy Dog. I'm just trying to write enough of it dry. Yeah, that's gorgeous. So that's pretty too. So definitely don't need to be worried about what I'm going to put in it if I decide to go with the Scribo and it's all gone. Huh. Well, that's funny. Even that one kind of has a teal leaning. Sort of. I mean, there must be more blue in it. I'd have to say the Scribo is probably the darkest, even when it started to taper off. Okay, let me get this glass nib put away before I bust it. I don't want any more tragedies today. Okay. There. Put that safely away. So that's the 4. Oh my goodness. It's a hard decision. And it doesn't matter. And yet it does. It's really still between these two. Huh. Another thing I thought about was putting the one I think I'm going to use in this, and then trying it on the Tomoe River, just to see if I still kind of feel that way. And I could even do that and clean it out. Let's try that with let's try with this paper here. I guess it's going to end up being this Scribo ink. I like it, and I really enjoyed most of their inks. I think there was one that I got a sample of that was sticking to the sides, and it was just too thick for me, and it just wasn't my thing. But it was a blue ink. But that was the only one. The rest of the Scribo inks I was really excited about. And they come in those really cool bottles too that stack. Okay, I really want to give that just a little bit of... Oh, now isn't that neat? It comes out of that nib differently. Ooh, and that's a, you know, that's a broad number 6 nib. So isn't that amazing? Take a look at that. That's because of that glass nib. Let's go ahead and get into here, because Tomoe River, that's what I write my letters on, so we might as well. Here, I'll put you closer. But now we lost the pen. Okay. I think it's going to be this one. Oh, I like that. But that shows me. See, and I kind of remembered that I thought this green was really close, but then when I saw it coming out of the glass nib, the place that looked the closest was here where I kind of smeared it. Huh, that's neat. That is really neat. Never a dull moment. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that. And the Serendipity with the broad. That's the original one that tuned by James Phineas. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause you guys and I'm going to go fill up the pen. Yeah. This Friday night is already acting better. Be right back. Okay, so it is gone, but not really. It's all in here. So it took at least 3 mil. And before I filled the body, I just went ahead and dipped the nib right in and really rolled it around so I could get it started. And then I just took an ink syringe and filled it up. And that's what I love about these pens. They've been so great. Just so great. So let's go ahead. We have to do this. We have to put it. So this is the Opus 88. Look at the end of that box, because I get, you know, I think it's called Demonstrator, but it's, yeah, it just says S-T-I, Stilo and Style Demo. So that'll pinpoint it, because it doesn't really have a color name. It's their special edition. So, and it's a broad nib, and it is Scribo Verde Bosco. That's kind of satisfying to go ahead and use that that ink sample up too. I'll have to peel some labels and clean it up. Okay, so now I won't forget. I don't think I would anyway after all that, which ink I'd put in there. And we'll just get writing with this. Oh, wow. That nib is really smooth. And the ink, of course, I know the ink. The ink is just so much of the thing. When you get the right ink in a pen, and then it's just such a nice, smooth nib unit anyway. I was all about just the ink, not the pen up above there. And it was just such a blessing that I think his name is Mario from there worked with me and helped me out, because I was just really scared when the pen didn't come, and I thought, oh no, I don't even know the language, but I tried really hard to communicate without extra words, and they did really great helping me out. So I'm just really happy to have this. I wonder where the other pen went. gosh, I don't know how many times stuff like that happens, but it must be really upsetting for them. Oh, I got a little ink in the cap. Okay, and we are still doing Scribo. Verde. Bosco. Okay, this is great. Now, I know what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go write in my gratitude journal because I've been a grumbly complainer here, and I never forgot this one minister, Unity minister. His name was Jim Rosemergy. I think I'm getting his name right. He said, if you can't give me 100 things to be grateful for, then you need to give me 500 things to be grateful for. So, like, you know, it made you think, like, okay, come on now. Just forget all the complaints. That's it. Just forget it. So, oh, I don't know if you haven't seen my other videos, you do open up the shut-off valve while you're writing, and it keeps you a nice continuous flow. You don't have to keep it open the whole time, but I don't like for it to go ahead and taper off. I keep it open while I'm writing, and the little valve stays open. And then when I get ready to put it in the pen case, I've been really practicing making sure that I close that. So I keep it closed when I'm all finished. But I'm super happy with the pen. It's the last of my big pen purchases for the year till my birthday, Christmas. But I am planning to get one of those TWSBI Swipe, I think is the name of it, because it's going to be the new one with the cartridge converter. And then, like, I'm putting some speed bumps and some slowdowns there because this has been a nutty year for me for pen purchases. But there was that beginning of the year where I had a windfall and I just went a little nuts. But I think this is really going to be nice. I don't regret it at all, you know, at all. Not even with how long it took. So now I've got an extra pen to that I can evaluate when I come back and talk about the July pens. So there's these 8, and then, ooh, I got room to put it here. It'll have, except that I didn't leave any room over here. But that'll be good. That'll remind me that I need to talk about this one too. But it's going to fool me because it's going to look like it belongs there. Oh my goodness, when I start cutting holes in the ink journal, you know I've gone crazy. Okay, let's make sure I get this one right. Opus 88 Demo. Whoops, I hope I spelled their company right. I always want to put an extra S on the end. Stylo and Style. Okay, that's second. Okay, broad. Scribo. Verde. Bosco. I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's a really nice match, even though it's not a perfect match. It's just such a, oh, that is a really nice ink for the pen. So, thank you for putting up with me. I don't think I've ever been this raw, but I just knew I needed some pen time, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Waited for this pen, so it's just a fantastic addition. I was going to show you actually real quick, and then I'll go, I promise. I had picked up, I think it was in early February, this pen case. So, and this is the only one of all the rest of my Opus 88s, oh, except for this one. I just cleaned this, but I've already chosen the next ink. I just felt like I was getting kind of crazy. We're already up to 9. And then this will be 10, but I can't stand it without a brown. So I'm thinking tomorrow's Saturday, and I do have to work, but I'm going to go ahead and that'll be like a treat after I finish the morning work and maybe one other thing toward the home improvement fiascos. Then I'll go ahead and put the Sailor 50 States Texas in here. I had Monteverde Canyon Rust. But I really thought about having Sailor 50 States Texas in the, this is the original, the one that I got, the Coloro, and it was sent to me by a pen friend. And I did have the TWSBI broad nib unit, because that's all I had at the time. and it fit in there. But I since ordered from Van Ness just the nib unit for this, so I've got the Opus or the, you know, the branded, the broad nib for this, and that way my TWSBI Mini won't be stolen from. So okay, I think I need to leave before I get any crazier. Hopefully this was, you know, a diversion for you and entertainment or whatever, and I hope you're doing well. I see things that are happening, and I just wish us all well with this, with everything. I don't even want to talk about what's going on in the world, but so I'll see you next time. Won't be quite so raw, but anyway, thank you for joining me. Bye for now.